Hello, this is Krista Rue from HLC Bookkeeping and Office Services. If anyone's on, if they can write in the comments if you can hear us, because we can't get it to acknowledge a speaker. So we're hoping it's on, but we don't know. So Christina's trying to jump on a computer and see. Okay, Christina said she can hear it. So we're good to go. So this is Krista from HLC Bookkeeping and Office Services. Christina will be joining us shortly. Turn it off because it'll, oh, you're going to close it? Okay. All right, because otherwise we might be able to hear us in two places and it would be confusing.
Total twinning.
All right. So the purpose of Saturday Solutions is to inform the business community, owners, senior managers, people who want to own a business, some things that we've learned over our 20 years in business for ourselves that would have been helpful if someone would have shared with us.
Right.
So,
and there's just regular people hints.
Yeah, regular
where
hints
you live, work,
to
and
help
worship.
your life, because life isn't all about work. There's home, there's worship, there's family, there's dynamics.
Yes. And this is the year of boundaries.
For us, yes.
I'm trying to get better at setting my boundaries.
And using the magical word, no. All right. So it's the first Saturday of the month. So that is, I didn't recap last week. How rude.
How rude.
So last week we talked about profitability and how that's important and ways to check for it. And it shouldn't be, I'll just check for it every now and then. It should be quarterly, because a lot can happen in a quarter. And quite honestly, if you're in a super dynamic business, you might be needing to check that weekly if prices are changing.
Monthly.
Yeah, monthly. So it's industry specific how often you should be doing that. Perspective. Are you building or are you crumbling? How do you tell the difference? And how do you stop the crumble? And then number 3 was our quick hints. And number 4 was we reminded everybody the 1099 submission deadline.
That's why there's bags under our eyes.
It was a week, let me tell you. So after this, we're going home. So since it's the first Saturday of the month, we always do off the bookshelf.
Yep.
So this one is called 101 Ways to Nurture Yourself. Now, I'm not a frou-frou type of gal, but there's good practical things in here. And what I like, you're sort of to be taking an inventory of every time you do this below. So that you can, because different strokes for different folks. So like the 3 I highlighted, a warm bubble bath. When's the last time you had a warm bubble bath? It's been a long time.
Yeah.
So guess what I'm doing tonight? I'm like, I love that idea. Then one of the other ones was, are you having 3 belly laughs a day? You know, the kind where you can't hold in. It's not a, it's a, because you have to have that. Because it strengthens your immune system. It boosts your energy. It can diminish pain and decrease stress. So if you're at work and you're not laughing, why? And why are you there?
That's why Santa Claus has no stress.
That's it. That's it. Because it releases good chemicals, endorphins. So, like, that's sort of a trigger. Because one of the things I do is, okay, you're at work a lot. So you better be enjoying it. And if you're not, maybe you need to look into some stuff.
Reevaluate. Do some ciphering.
That's right. And one of their other tips is write a poem. Now, Christina can get into that big time because she's a writer. Because it's good for you physically, it's good for you emotionally, it's good for you intellectually. So, it doesn't have to be Shakespeare, people.
Yep.
It can be just a little ditty that makes you giggle.
Yep.
That's it. And then you can accomplish 2 in one day.
It's just about joy. It's just about, and sometimes when you get stuff down on paper, it's very cathartic. And so it's very nice. So I'd like to write stuff down. If something strikes my fancy, I might start a poem and then finish it later. Be inspired. I've woken up in the middle of the night with a whole gambit in my head. So I always keep a pen and paper by my bed so that I can write.
That's right. So are you nurturing yourself? Because a lot of times...
Did you say who wrote that?
Chris Mabon.
Okay.
It's www.ChristineMabon.com. Cover art by Casey Jackson. Okay.
Yep.
And so one of my thing is, I know I don't nurture myself enough. So I'm going to try to do 101 ways to nurture myself this year. Because there's 365 days. So that means every third day, basically. And oops, I already missed 33. So I got to start right away.
Aren't you glad I didn't write in the book when I did it? I just did beside the book.
Oh, well, you can write in it. I'm going to write in it. I'll put KL.
That's the whole purpose, so that other people could use it. I wrote beside it.
Write in pencil then. I don't care.
Oh, my goodness.
I like to write in books.
She does.
When I'm studying, I have marks all over the place, highlights all over the place. Because that way, I know I did it. So, that was just number 1 for today. Number 2 that I want to talk about is
because we've gotten questions.
We've gotten questions. Yeah. We talk about debt pay down. We talk about emergency fund. We talk about savings. When do I do all the above?
Yeah. And you can't do it all at the same time.
No.
Especially if this is new to you and you're just attempting to do all this. You don't have the skill set yet, people, nor the know-how. So, don't put all this pressure on yourself.
No.
Do it in steps. The goal is to keep moving forward.
That's right. That's right. So, number 1 is an emergency fund. And you should start, do I have $1,000 in cash somewhere safely in my home that if God forbid something happens, I break down, that I now have a $700 car bill, not a problem. I've got cash for it. It can take so much stress off of you.
Yep, because just last week we had one of the batteries go on the van.
No stress. The Aspen went the week before that.
Yeah, so no stress.
That cold spell.
Yep.
That's right. No stress because, whoop, here it is. And the other thing is, how many times do kids come home and say, hey, guess what? Here's a permission slip because we're going to the zoo tomorrow and I need $40. Or I need 120 for the bus driver and all that kind of stuff. Not a problem. It's handled. It just can take a lot of stress out of the little things in life. Now, the key, though, is to, of course, replace it. Once you use it, so it's always $1,000. Always. Yep. So that's number 1. Number 2 is I believe in debt pay down. Because on a savings account, you're lucky to get 5%. But those credit cards are charging you 20 to 30%.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to make 5% if you're still paying out 20 to 30%.
Correct.
So get that debt paid down. And when the debt's down everything but mortgage. I'm a big fan of Dave Ramsey. You pay off those credit cards and you don't use them again. You should only ever have maybe one emergency, because who knows? Maybe you go in the hospital, you have a $5,000 copay. You got to have somewhere to put it. But a lot of hospital plans now have payment plans.
Yep.
But it's
with low interest rates.
Low interest rates, right? Yeah. So one credit card maximum, and it should always be paid off. Yep. And then you start to get into savings. And then that's retirement vehicles and a whole bunch of other stuff. And quite honestly, once we have you to that point, you need a financial planner.
Yep.
And we can refer you to some.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the order we suggest. Big fan of Dave Ramsey. So if you need help with rethinking your life, there's like a 9-week course.
Yep.
That is
a lot
offered
of churches
everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's what's it called? University. Yeah. Financial Peace University. That's it's excellent. Yep. So take it.
Yep.
All right. So then number 3 is Christina's helpful hints.
Oh, my helpful hints. So, to save a banana expiring too soon, wrap it in tinfoil. What? It works. I don't know what to tell you. It's crazy. Like these things that work that I'm like, how do we not know? Every week I'm like, how did we not know that? And then I love this one. Yeah, the second one, again, this is an organizational tip that I'm like, this is genius. When you're washing bedclothes, don't fold the pillowcase. Put your sheets and everything in the pillowcase. So when you go to your closet,
you take one
to change your bed. You just grab a pillowcase, and then
because it has the other pillowcase, the fitted sheet, and the regular sheet.
Yes, what a great idea! That's a great idea.
It is
easy peasy,
and it's neatly because you put them in, you fold it over, nice little packet in your.
It is like a little envelope of joy.
That's it.
All right, and then the other thing was another common sense thing. That I'm like, I'm sure we knew this at some point. You just forget that little piece of soap. Did we talk about this already? I don't know if we did or not.
I don't know.
But
it wasn't on last
when
time.
soap gets down to that little piece of soap, and then you open the new soap, and then sometimes it just gets lost, goes down the drain. Some people just pitch it. You can put that piece of soap. It's like glue. If you wet the new one and the old one and put them together. You can use the little sliver of soap till there's no sliver left.
That's right, because in today's economy,
save money.
Use it all.
Save money, get the last drop out of it. Genius.
It is.
Genius.
It is genius.
Yeah. So those are my 3 tips.
But I love that.
The bed sheet.
Yeah, because there's so many times I'm like, well, where's the fitted sheet?
Exactly.
It's folded over there. Why? We could all be together. That's right. So I like that. All right. Quick tips.
Okay, so this is the time of year in January, February that you should be cleaning up your lists. Whether you have QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop, you should be cleaning your list. What does that mean? That means maybe you had HLC bookkeeping in your vendor list, plus you also had Householder Lifestyle Consulting, which is what the HLC stands for in HLC bookkeeping. We're the same people, same EIN number, shouldn't have 2 different vendors. So you need to merge those. So you basically want to make sure you keep the one that's right. And then the one you want to merge into on the display name, you have to make it match exactly.
In the gray portion.
That's right. In desktop, the display name would be, you have the card where all the name, address, phone number information is, and then up at the top left, it's the display name. Right. In QuickBooks Online, the display names, literally, it'll say company display name. So that's where you change it in the one that you want to go away.
Right. But so it'll move that data.
It'll move the transactional data in it. And in QuickBooks Desktop, it just makes it disappear, the old one. Right. But in QuickBooks Online, it deletes that old vendor. The transaction move, and then it deletes the name of the vendor. So it'll still stay on your list.
Right.
So don't get stuck.
So you want to make sure if you have two, they're the same company, but for whatever reason, maybe you have two people putting stuff in.
Well,
they're a little different.
And this happens too if you've had transitional bookkeepers. One called it West Penn Power, one called it First Energy.
Right.
Same thing. But so you want to get them together. So you use the name you want to keep, go to the name you don't care to keep, change it, the display name to match the one you're keeping, and then it'll ask if you want to merge the contacts. The thing to remember is you can't undo the merge.
Right.
So make sure you know you want to merge.
So choose wisely.
Yeah. So like if you paid Krista Rue something and then Christina Rue something, we are two different people. Just saying. So like those would stay two different vendors. But if somebody didn't know that, they might merge them. And then you can't unmerge them.
Then you got a problem.
Yeah. Then you have to recreate and manually do it. Yeah. So just make sure you know for sure you want to do it and like clean up those lists. And if you're using something in your chart of accounts that you no longer use, inactivate it. Get it off the list. As long as
there's no balance. Do not inactivate if there's a balance.
Correct.
Because then your balance sheet will be off.
Right. Has to be 0 people.
Right. And if it's not, and you know you didn't use it, you got to do some investigating.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's
it already.
That's our February 3rd HLC Saturday solution.
So next week is what? The 10th. So we could talk about why we love bookkeeping for Valentine's Day.
Okay, we can, because I do.
We know. It's probably not good. It's like, I just love the organization of it.
It's true.
Our little nephew says, this is very satisfying.
That's what he says.
Because everything has its place.
That's right. Okay.
That's what we do.
All right. Well, then, stay warm.
Absolutely.
Enjoy your weekend. And many blessings to you this week.
Happy Saturday, everybody.